Hi, this is Julia. I'm here to share my, it's the March Counterfeit Kit Challenge layouts that I completed. So it's a layout share. I took my March kit, which was inspired by the Cocoa Daisy kit from February 2014 called Color Swatch. I took it with me to the crop that I went to this last weekend for National Scrapbook Day, and I managed to get 14 layouts out of it. Not as many as my February kit, but still I'm pretty happy with 14. Again, for each layout, I took a sketch with me. I just grabbed up a handful of sketches that I've printed out over the last several months and just took them with me and took my photos and then just dug into the kit. For this first one, this sketch is from Elle Studio, and it's got a lot of hearts on it because it was printed out in February. Didn't use it for my February kit, so I just rolled it over and used it for my March kit. Anyway, didn't use any hearts in this one. I used the polka dot background on this one. This is my grandson Cameron and my granddaughter Shawnee. We were getting ready to head out on a trip to Florida last summer. I just put in some brads throughout the green arrow brads, added in some cork stars, added in these older embellishments from Close to My Heart and older border strips that I had pulled from my stash of border strips. The next layout is one of my favorites because of the background paper. And this one, this is a bokeh colored vellum piece of paper, and I loved it, as well as this background paper, which is pretty old. It's an American Crafts paper, but it has that pastel-y watercolor in the background. Very pretty along with this paper. So this is my grandson Cameron and my granddaughter Shawnee, and he's spraying her with a water gun in the pool, and so I just added a little flourish there. Not really worried about acid free. I can always reprint the pictures at any point, and I can pass the digitals on to my kids at any point. Added lots of stickers, some enamel dots, some brads. Did some stamping down here. I stamped the camera and the arrows. More stickers there. Oh, I didn't show you the sketch where this one started. This one started with this sketch, also from Elle Studio, with lots of circle elements there. Of course, I didn't use many circles, as far as the pictures go. This one started off with a sketch from Scrap Bar Stash. It's one by Brenda Ragsdale. Lots of heart and lovey theme, I guess for maybe, well, I guess I printed it out on 3/2/2014. I don't know if it was a Valentine's layout or sketch or what, but I didn't use all those hearts. Instead, this is what I came out with. This is, again, my grandson Cameron and my granddaughter Shawnee. We were in the car headed down the road, and I just turned around and snapped a picture of them. They were actually playing travel bingo, spotting things as we rode down the road. It was really fun for all of us. Did some journaling here and tucked it behind there. Added some stickers, some of those push pins with the roses on them, and just layered up some tags and enamel epoxy covered brads and those little embellishments that I had in my stash. Lots of stickers on that one. This one, the next one, it doesn't really look to me a whole lot like the sketch, other than some of the paper strips here, which I use washi tape for here, a piece of pattern paper and a piece of washi tape here to mimic these. I didn't use big stars, and I didn't make hidden journaling there, and I did use two photos layered up here. This is what I came out with, and the title is When the Moon Hits Your Eyes Like a Big Pizza Pie. That's Amore. Goes back to the story of my grandkids and my niece's little girls making homemade pizza. This is actually a photo here. My grandson Cameron wanted to put the pizza crust on this plate and take a picture so that it would look like the plates had a watermelon look to them, so he wanted to make it look like watermelon pizza. And so he left the crust on the plate, and then it was after we finished eating. It was actually Shawnee's plate, but he put the crust around there to make it look like watermelon pizza. Used lots of embellishments here, lots of wood veneers, lots of epoxy dots, lots of enamel dots, lots of brads. Just had really a lot of fun with that. The next one, another one of my fave layouts, only because of this background paper. You know, it's been pretty popular here recently with several kit clubs, and well, you know, I and several designers, and I just happened upon a piece and I got it, and I usually would have thrown it into my stash and just held on to it forever, but I thought, you know, I'm really going to put it in. It's not brand new, but it's new, very new to me, and I threw it into my stash into my kit to use it, and I used it, and it got a little wrinkled because I had to love it and squeeze it and hold it until I could put it on the layout. But anyway, I follow the theme of the layout on this one. This is from Let's Get Sketchy, and it's by Tabitha Triplett. I use the same design as this with the border here, strip here, and the photos here, or the photo. So I used one photo, put a little banner up here that it just had embellishment like little heart cluster there and then a little heart cluster here. So I used some stickers, some pearls, a little clip with a heart. Up here I used a banner sticker with some buttons, and then I stamped Just Be You here. I had a stamp here that I covered with this piece of paper because it was part on the gold foil of the doily and part on the paper, and it just did not turn out very well, and the same goes here. And so I just added in some things to stamp over. This is an accumulation. I threw in a lot of border strips from my stash and just pulled out tons of them to use here, as well as some stickers. This green and this floral is stickers, or sticker borders from the kit that I pulled together. Used random stickers throughout, and this was a cut apart, as was this piece back here. Next I went to Creative Scrappers, and I think it's just creativescrappers.com. .blogspot.com, and this lady has all of her sketches, her previous sketches, like this is from sketches 100 to 200. She's got them in files that you can download, and I actually used this one, number 183, and I followed the format with the color blocking here, the photos across here, the title, the embellishment cluster there. I followed it pretty closely as far as that goes, and then just added a lot of my own to it. As you can see, I did the 3 photos here, but instead of tucking the border strip behind the photos, I put it right on top, only because the tops didn't match up, and these were cut aparts that I actually put the photos on, and so they were a little bit longer than the cut aparts were. The Swimming Like Fishes, the font came from a sticker sheet. These are 5 little rhinestones that I had left in a package. Didn't necessarily like the text that was on this little cut apart card up here, or tag up here, so I put some washi tape over it and then put another sticker there. Lots of random cut aparts here, and I found some in my beach stickers. I didn't actually include it in the kit, but I took along some beach stickers with me, and I found these little fishes and seashells. Otherwise it would have been Swimming Like Fishes with just birds. So I added the fishes on there. This layout is again from Creative Scrappers. It is sketch number 120, and I use the same format here, the paper piecing here with the photos matted, embellishment cluster here, here, and here. And this is what I came out with. Love this photo. We were sitting at 2 tables. Like if the tables were here and here, Gary and Shawnee were sitting here and Cameron was over here, and I was right in the middle, and they were both looking out the windows, and I couldn't get either of their attention. I mean, Gary shook her to get her order when we got to Florida. We were at a restaurant. They really wanted to get on the beach, and Cameron Gary hollered across both tables and told him, "Cameron, what do you want to eat?" And so Cameron looked up and said, "What? Huh?" Anyway, it was just kind of a fun photo opportunity, and so when I found this embellishment cluster in my beach stickers, it was this Vacation Days, and it had like a sticker here with the hat and some flip-flops and a lawn chair and things like that, and I just, you know, ripped apart what I wanted and left this here for vacation days because they both just had that dazed look on their face when looking at the beach. Next layout is again from Creative Scrappers. This is sketch number 17, so it's an older one, and again I kept it pretty much on task with the way the sketch looks with the pattern paper here and the photos going across here, and I staggered them and a border strip, and then this is what I came up with. I used 5 photos instead of just 4, and this was again along the way of our trip to Florida. Used several floral embellishments here, up in here. This was actually an L Studio packaging piece, and I just cut off the LA Studio that was at the top of it and then journaled on that and added it down. These leftover strips, border strips. This is actually, I had stamped several pieces with Stays-On ink and took my watercolors with, and I just wanted to, you know, kind of play with, and so I kind of just, you know, colored that and then added some Wink of Stella pen to it and threw that on there because it matched this terrific background, that floral background. That was one of my favorite papers of this whole kit. I had lots of favorites in this kit. Another Creative Scrappers sketch here, number 68, and again I followed the same lines as the sketch with an embellishment cluster and title up here with my journaling here, a background strip going across, and the photos in the middle. Although it did turn out a little bit differently. I did cut a circle out of a piece of gold vellum. These stickers were some that I had in the kit. Lots of border strips up here, and they were branding strips and border strips that I just chopped up. And I love that I'm finally able to use these yellow epoxy embellishments that have been in my stash forever. Used a few more bits of wood embellishments. I actually journaled on this. This was a black branding strip that I used gold ink with, and then just threw in some little enamel dots and random stickers here and there. Next layout is another one of my favorites because it had a newer sheet of paper that I just fell in love with, and of course it was wrinkled from where I hugged and loved and just had to squeeze it before I used it for a layout. I used a sketch from Creative Scrappers. It's number 44, and I used the same format here, although I added to a little bit. I put an additional cluster up at the top, and instead of placing the title like right on top, I used like a cut apart title to make my title, and this is what I came up with. And so instead of setting it right on top of the background paper, I just set it like right above the photo here. This was that bokeh print, and I want to say it was a crepe paper bokeh print. Anyway, I fell in love with it, and I love the back side of that word paper as well. That's right there. Added in some tags, cut apart tags here and here, a scrap piece of paper up here with a piece from LA Studio there. This big flower is a Pebbles flower, some random bling, that great huge flower that I had in my kit, a bling flower. I cut it all apart and used bits and pieces of it, you know, all over. Did my journaling with gold pen. This is my granddaughter Zoe, and this was taken just a couple of weeks ago. We kept her for a week over at my house, and that's a new outfit that she got, and she just walked by the mirror and she would just look at herself, and she just loved those colors. And so she would just always walk by the mirror and pat those colors, and then, you know, just jump and run, you know, back to us she would come. But she was so cute. This one I used Creative Scrappers again, and I used sketch number 12, or I guess I could say I used sketch number 11, whichever, because they're both the same one, and I turned it this way. And so I did my layout like this, and this is what I came up with. And so I added an embellishment cluster up here at the top. Just took a bit of paper with my new border punch and cut that out around there, and just, you know, tucked it back behind the picture. Did some journaling up here, not much on this little card, but I really wanted to throw in one of those glassine envelopes and use up some more ribbon. And then I took this piece of cork cut-apart sheet, and I wanted to make it look like a bulletin board up here, because what is he dreaming about? What is he thinking about when he's laying there in his chair snoozing? And so I just thought, you know, okay, we'll make it like a guy thing. Had a little cut-apart from Ellie's studio, this and that, and basically that's what all of this is. There's a cat, a dog, a balloon, a bicycle cut apart, there's ticket cut aparts, a car, an arrow, a little piece of scrap that looks like a letter, and I just crumpled it up and then stapled it on there with my tiny attacher, and added some cork up here to kind of mimic the cork background there. Anyway, had really a lot of fun with that. And then this one is another favorite, and I followed the sketch fairly closely, and it's a Creative Scrappers, and they had all these flowers here and flowers here. Although I didn't have a huge doily and a square photo, and I actually used 2 photos on this one, but I followed it fairly closely. And this is what I came up. And the subject content of this one, you know, just makes me so happy. It's my puppy dog Xena. She's about 14 years old, and you know, she's getting to be a very old lady, and so, you know, I'd like to keep her well documented in our scrapbooks. But behind this one I use lots of the branding border strips. There's a sticker, lots of leftover pieces of paper. I actually used a punch along this one. Lots of floral embellishments. I used like nearly a whole package of these floral. These are old Miss Elizabeth pieces. I used the epoxy pieces, I used the resin pieces, I used a stick pin here and here, more of those pebbles flowers. This one I didn't have an E or an A, so I Frankenstein those together to make her title here, and I used more border strips up here, or branding strips, and I love this background paper here. This paper with that kind of Indian look to it I wasn't crazy about, but it turned out okay behind the photos there. This one is a Chamel sketch, and it's from August 15th of 2013, and I love the simplicity of this one, and I did it fairly like this, but you know, a little bit more simplistic, I think, even than the sketch goes. This is what I came up with. This is my mom, my auntie, and all 3 of my grandkids, or my mom's great-grandchildren. This was before, it may have been before, I've got 4/3/2014 on here, so it was the day after Ellie, the newest edition, was born. She was still in the hospital. I cut apart more of that big yellow flourish and added here. Added some of those green brads, used more of those epoxy pieces. This is a cut apart. All 3 of these are cut aparts, and a sticker here. I really should have added a little bit of bling down in this corner on those flowers. And this was the leftover piece to circle like from my first layout. And the final layout is also in a Creative Scrappers sketch, and it's number 197, and I didn't follow this one exactly. I think I put just, you know, like one piece of paper down there. I put an embellishment cluster up here, and I did do some embellishing down in here like this. But this is again the same photo of my mom, my auntie, and my 3 grandkids. Of course, Cameron's got the goofy face in this one. I wish I could have merged this one with the other one to get my mom smiling like that, and these 2 smiling, you know, but anywho, it is what it is. I used a 4x6 sheet of paper here, and I used some tags here, cut apart tags, and that was I want to say a K & Company, some leftover border strips along with my new punch here, and just lots of random bits and pieces all throughout up there. This title is on a cut apart, and I just kept layering and kept layering and kept layering with some Ellie Studio cut aparts, some stickers, more stickers, and these were cut apart, or punch outs from a punch out paper. I just had lots of fun with this layout, but I've made one for each of their albums, one for Joshua, my oldest son's album, and one for Jason, my younger son's album. I don't necessarily make a album for each child, but I do their families together. So all of Joshua's family photos and Shawnee's photos go into his album, and then all of Cameron, Zoe's, and Jason or Misty's go into Jason's album. And then that way, you know, I give them to him when it suits me. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.